gonna tell me to share something. Alright, I'll share something real quick. Here we go. Here we go.
Sure.
Alright, next item on the agenda is updates regarding the community air monitoring. And is Don here? I believe I saw him.
He's been there. Wait, I got it.
No, I got him too. There we go.
Alright.
Don, the floor is yours.
Let me unmute. There we go. Sorry about that. Craig, that's very, very interesting, what you just showed. And I think something that I hope you guys understand is how we can help support this effort is the fence line systems that we're putting in were specifically designed around methane and VTEX. And the systems we're installing are the best in the world. The detection limits are well below, as you said, Craig, there's really not a lot out there as to what is the true lowest concentration considered to be a health limit. But from a technology standpoint, what we're deploying is the lowest capable from a technology basis to detect VTEX gases. We've actually got two of the monitoring, the VTEX systems. We have two systems already installed at Porter Ranch now. One of them is actually at its permanent location at the fire department collecting data. Everything else, we're just, working through the permit processes and scheduling electricians, all the different things, we have all the structures already ordered. We're building them. They've been delivered. So we're moving technology and migrating it out as quickly as we possibly can, with the goal of kind of getting it away from where we had them in some temporary locations to moving them into their permanent spots. And we're getting that done, like I said, as quickly as we possibly can. We've also, we're very close to the point of being able to, we've already given you guys a website where you can actually access data. We're now migrating towards an actual app that goes onto your phone, and we'll be probably releasing that at late the most the next couple weeks. And then that will also include the ability to, if anybody in the community is in a certain area and they smell something, can actually register that as a logged event that the rest of the community can share that information with. So we're moving fast as we can to get this stuff out and get it all up there. And like I said, it's really kind of the best of the best technologies these days. I always use these meetings as my next starting point to kind of, milestones of where we can be with this project. And I was hoping maybe, is there any way we can interact sometime in December to give updates to the community as to where we are? Because the other thing I want to start doing is sharing data, getting the data to everybody, getting everybody to review it and kind of getting up to speed about what we're seeing and how it all works. I really don't want to wait till January. This is just too important a thing to communicate to you guys.
Don, you can actually always email us, and I can get the information out in newsletters as well.
Okay.
So if there's any information you have that's important, always drop me an email.
Okay.
Or call me, and be sure to get the information out on our website, newsletters, or whatever, depending on the urgency of the information.
Yeah, what we do with a lot of other things, a lot of other communities we work with, we put together kind of these groups where we meet on fixed schedules to just look at the data each week. And it's kind of everybody's obviously welcome. We go through the data, we show everybody what's going on, how they might be impacted, and, clues as to what we think may be happening. And I really want to get you guys involved in doing that. We're doing it with a community down area. We're doing it up in Benicia, which is a community up in the Bay Area. And we just, basically have an open weekly meeting where people just kind of dial in. And we just, like I said, we just go through everything that's been, we've learned the past week. It's very informative.
A quick question for you, Don. What is the highest reading you've seen, would you say, last 2 weeks?
We really have, what we're seeing is basically what we would kind of be considered ambient levels of stuff. We haven't seen anything like nothing I could trace back, for example, to Aliso Canyon. So, the methane, which is really what we're seeing, and we're still doing the final run through on the gas chromatograph, the VTEX system. That's the shining star of this thing. It has detection limits down to about 1/10 of a part per billion for benzene. So right now we're kind of, the data is sort of under embargo because we have to do a final calibration of the system in the field, and the way the EPA sets these instruments up or tells us to do it, every time we transport them out, we have to do another set of calibration gases and checks. And once we do that, then we release the data once it's past that QA check. So the vendor, who is very high stress about getting this stuff right, is kind of finishing that up. I'm hoping, this week we'll be able to then release all the data. But we'll see it at ambient levels. At those concentrations, it's in the atmosphere, and will be quantifiable. These are the things I'd like to share in some of the data group meetings, and then we can, make it more, again, get it out to the public in general. But, and then, like I said, we have a number of methane monitors running right now. They're, like I said, average is somewhere between about 2 peak part per million, which is what you expect to see, to about 3 to maybe 3.5 part per million. When we were getting, during the gas blowout, what we recognized was people, when we were running the air monitoring station at Susan's house, when the concentrations got to about 5 part per million, people would start smelling deodorized methane. And that's when we would start getting deodorant in the methane. At about that level is when people would start to actually let us know. And that's when, again, that's why we want to tie this all into the VTEX data as well with this.
Got it. One more question. And I know Jason has a question. He has his hands up. I've noticed that there's like a 30-minute to an hour and a half delay on the website a lot of times, especially on nights. Is that going to remain like that, or can
No.
something like 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute or?
Again, the problem, so there shouldn't be any kind of that much of a data lag, period. Okay, we'll fix that. Normally, the most data lag you would get is about 5 to 10 minutes, and the problem is just, it's the internet. The internet isn't really designed to do things super quickly, and we collect data for 5 minutes. Then we then report it through the internet. So there's, you'll normally see it. It also depends on when we say we're started to report data. So is it, we'll get all that fixed.
Gotcha. Thank you. Sure. Jason?
Okay, are you able to find historical data? Because, for example, like, I smelled something this morning. I haven't smelt anything for months and months and months, but this morning I smelled something, and I was just wondering, because, I wasn't around the computer, but, one of the challenges is, like, can I go back and see what the readings were for a particular area, let's say throughout the day, or so like, I guess the thing that you could help us with is, like, every time you come in, being that this is new, if you could pull up the website, we'll let you share screen. Like I found the website. I'm here now. I found it through Google. I see you're on the old site, which is good. But if you could show all of us so we know how to get on there,
Yep.
maybe we can put a link on our website and kind of walk us through each of the ones. So, like when you do your updates to our board, if you could just do that, that'd be great. And then maybe as far as December, I was looking at the calendar. We're getting into Christmas and all that, but we would normally meet on the 14th, but maybe we can do like a special meeting. I don't know what you think about that, Gabe, but maybe like on the 7th, if we meet like December 7th, it's not a bad idea to have a short meeting in December, because just to kind of continue our operations, it becomes a little problematic when we delay because we have things we have to upload into the system to keep our funding on track. So I would suggest maybe having just a quick meeting, maybe move it up earlier in December so it's more like we get it out of the way kind of thing. But anyways, that's all. I just would like you to kind of share navigating the website, how to get there, and then sharing how to pull data because we don't know how to do all that stuff.
Yeah. And the other thing I'd like to do, if we could get that meeting is, like today, when you smelled something, we've set this up. The site is actually designed. We understand it